ancient rainforests thrive under these conditions, as does one of its most enigmatic inhabitants, the great hornbill. Great fruit eaters and great predators, hornbills are amongst the largest and strongest birds in the forest community. No less than 13 different species of hornbills live in the forests of Thailand. One of these is the helmeted. Another one is the white crown. This is the brown hornbill. The rufous-necked hornbill. The smallest of them all, the oriental pied hornbills, live primarily on various species of figs that fruit throughout the year in the forest canopy. In many cases, the growing roots of the fig tree encircle the trunk of a host tree and finally kill it. Figs are very healthy for the hornbills, as well as other birds and animals. Yet, it is known as the strangler fig, a parasite. The only occasional threat to what could be looked upon as a life in paradise is the binturong, also known as the Asian bear cat. Although mostly looking for fruit, it is also keen on eggs and small birds. It is easy to escape the predator. The bear cat has lost its chance. Figs will have to do. Peace is again restored to the forest canopy. Nothing better than a nap in the trees after a meal. Only 26% of Thailand remains covered by forest, reduced from 60% just 50 years ago. In the darker undergrowth, restricted in many areas by poor penetration of sunlight, strange and rare parasitic plants can be seen. Not to mention a poorly known and recently discovered tree with leaves that turn a flaming red once a year, almost luminescent on the green tapestry background. The tropical forest is characterized by high rainfall. Around half of all animal and plant species call the rainforest home. Seasons change between rain and almost unbearable heat and drought. So does the landscape. Endless tropical rainforests. Dramatic, cliff-ridden mountains. Fertile landscapes dotted with trees. It's a busy time for mature hornbill males. The end of the monsoon season. He's looking for a suitable partner above the forest canopy. The lack of underwing covert feathers allows air to pass through the flight feathers and causes the sound of a moving locomotive. The courtship begins mid-air. As any gentleman would do on his first date, the male brings a gift for his intended. A fig, naturally. Convincing a female is not an easy task. It can take many days and nights. But these days they are not alone. Once a year, hornbills gather into large groups for a few days to socialize and look for partners. There can be hundreds, sometimes thousands of individuals. The male has to repeat a series of courtship displays many times during these highly stressful days. He rubs bills with the female, plays, touches her, even kisses her, or at least so it seems. It is as if she can feel his passion. She finally accepts his courtship. Reluctantly, still playing hard to get. New gifts are exchanged. A male hornbill keeps up to 20 figs in his crop and may regurgitate them whenever needed. On the edge of the rainforest, another landscape shows its splendor. Grassland dotted with trees covers the land. Here, we find a herd of the largest land mammals on the planet. The wild elephant. A symbol of wisdom in Asian culture and famed for its memory and intelligence. Today, there are only about 1,500 wild elephants in the country. The Asian elephant is highly intelligent and self-aware. It is capable of a range of emotions, including joy, playfulness, grief, and mourning. They spend up to 16 hours a day eating plants and consume up to 300 kilograms of food each day to survive. Elephants live in peace with the Asian ox, the gaur. 1 ton of pure muscle on the hoof, strong and massively built. Gaur live in small herds of 8 to 11 individuals, one of which is a mature bull. More males may join the herd for mating, and individual bulls may move from herd to herd, each mating with several other cows. Elephants love water. Besides drinking it, it keeps them cool. The male elephant on the other side of the small swamp is in must, a sexually aggressive period among elephant bulls. During this time, he may try to kill anybody or anything in his way. After the water, the elephants throw dust and dirt on themselves to protect their skin from the sun and create a layer of protection from insects. The male in must is showing aggressive behavior, and the females form a protecting circle around their young. Even though the male decides to retreat, at least for now, the elephant herd and their young seek shelter in the forest. Further down the swamp, the sambar deer live in small herds of 4 to 6 individuals. One male, the stag, an adult female, and her recent young. Sometimes a stag will dig his antlers in urine-soaked soil and then rub them against trees as a way to mark his territory. He will mark himself by spraying urine into his own face with a highly mobile penis. Sambars live in peace with most of the other species congregating near the swamp. However, there are enemies. The most dangerous predators of the sambar are tigers, leopards, and dholes, the Asian wild dog. The stag gathers his herd on a small island in the middle of the swamp. He prefers to defend his herd or attack predators in shallow water. When defending the herd, the stag stamps his feet and makes a ringing call that makes the dogs nervous and warns the other members of the herd of danger. He tries to lure the predators away from his herd. The wild dogs may attack in groups, but for some reason they retreat. It might just be too hot for them. Perhaps they're not hungry enough to make the effort and decide to wait for another chance. It's mating time. During the 24 hours when the female is in season, the male will approach her from behind before mating. Sambars have extremely sensitive senses of hearing and smell. They are highly developed, which helps them detect predators and challengers. Another male has arrived on the scene. A rival. Sizing each other up, the two stags move into position for an unavoidable fight for dominance. When sparring with rival males, the competing sambars lock antlers, trying to push each other away. These two elephants seem inspired by the fight nearby.